An intense medicinal note. Welcome to Whisky.com, where fine spirits meet. My name is Horst Lüning. I'm the master taster of Whisky.com, and today I have the pleasant task to open this Caol Ila Distillers Edition, vintage 2002 and bottled in 2014. So it's 12 years old as the normal Caol Ila, 12 years old, and I tasted a lot of Caol Ila already here in this playlist, and this one is the finished version of the 12 years old. And I always think that they take the lesser matured, the lighter ones from the refill ex-bourbon casks from Caol Ila and enhance the taste with the finishing in those wonderful wine casks. And in this case, the Caol Ila is matured in Moscatel casks, and Moscatel is the third fortified wine from Portugal. One is the port, typical port, you all know those. The second one is the Madeira from the equally named island in the Atlantic Ocean. Madeira, more spicy, and the Moscatel is from the Moscatel de Setúbal region. This is the southwest of Portugal. There are some, I think, chalk soils, and there are cold winds as well as hot summers, and so the wine is growing quite well. And on the bottle as well, on the card box, there are those four small icons, and those four icons show at first the symbol of the distillery, a ship, especially a steamship, with which the supplies was brought to the distillery, which lies on the Sound of Islay, I think it's called. It's the strait between Jura and Islay, and they have a pier, and on that pier the coal for Caol Ila and the barley and everything was brought to, and the finished products, the cask, was shipped to the mainland. The second one is the founding date of Caol Ila, 1846. I don't know, it looks like a P. The third is used for the Muscatel cask, MT. The T is, it's the province of Portugal, I think, MT. And the last one is DW. This is the master distiller responsible for the bottling, but I'm not knowing how he's called today, I'm afraid. No. Brilliant, clean and refined, this golden Caol Ila Distillers Edition has a deep, sweet and smoky flavor profile that suggests the intense saturation colors of late afternoon sunshine after the storm has passed. Well, the bottle is light green. You can't see the color, but I'm afraid there is some artificial color in it, and 43% ABV. It might not be unchill filtered, but it's finished in those wonderful Muscatel casks. That's it. There are different vintages out on the market. When you see this video in the upcoming years, I think the 2002, 2014 I have here is already outdated. There's a 2015 on the market, distilled in 2003. And those batches are quite huge, and they are made by the same receipt, and the batches should not be so different in taste. There are differences. They are reported in our whiskey database, and but there are also differences in the personal feeling, which a feeling I have today. If I'm hungry, if I'm already after dinner or whatever. So there are differences in your feeling as well as in the product itself. And quite often people say, well, I would like to have your job. You're allowed to sample whiskey during working time. No, I'm afraid it's 6:45 p.m. It's a must. I have to work, but I like to work, and I'm able to combine my hobby with my work. So whoever is able to do this has a wonderful work to do. Yeah. Smoky. What else? Caol Ila is one of the distilleries showing a very distinct peatiness. And on the other side, they are famous for their ex-bourbon cask maturation and the light oiliness of the whiskey. There's some hidden sweetness behind. And my son Ben, he visited Caol Ila and took a video of the distillery. You can see it here. Yeah. And now it's a long time ago that I tasted that one. I think the last one I had was in 1996, so 6 years ago. And I had 1,000 whiskeys in between, so my memory about this particular one is, well, quite gone. Already smoke in the air. An intense medicinal note. Hospital. And that's all in the beginning. So we have to wait a little bit until your taste receptors in your nose adapt to the smokiness. No talking, I have to smell a lot so that my tasting receptors will adjust to the big amount of smoke. If I have to tell you how much smoke it is, it's 40 plus. Yeah, really a lot. And after some time, yeah, something else develops. But first to say, the Caol Ila distillery is producing whiskey mainly for Johnnie Walker and for J&B, rare. And those whiskey receive their distinct smokiness by adding some percentage of Caol Ila whiskey. And therefore Caol Ila was, well, exclusively for the own corporation, and in former times they sold casks to independent bottlers, but I think they stopped it in 2000 or 2003. So there are some old contracts still fulfilled, but the new ones, I think, they stopped shipping because they need this very intense whiskey for their blends. And since 2000, the year 2000, I think they started with the Caol Ila 12 years, and later on there was the 18 years old, which is quite rare in the moment because the demand had been so high, and the Distillers Edition appeared a few years after. Yeah, now there's some freshness and sweetness, fruitiness, everything well embedded. And this typical sherry note isn't there, no. So this is a wine, a lighter one. You see, it's not that dark as an Oloroso or, well, Pedro Jimenez sherry is. The old Portuguese ship, they used to have casks on board, ship them to the colonies and back again to give this special oxidization, special treatment of hot air, of high humidity, to the wine, but today, and this is long gone, and there are techniques to bring this oxidization to the to the wine, and this one is not that highly oxidized, so it's quite light. Yeah. Sweetness, yeah. Smoky. smokiness, of course, little dryness, some oiliness. Yeah. The finish is drier, yes. So this one is a dry one, and the Moscatel typically is fermented up to 12% ABV, and then they putting brandy in it to increase the strength of the Moscatel wine up to 19-20 ABV, I think. Yeah. So the smokiness is really embedded, it's complex and total. Yeah. And it's different because the sweetness is from the distillery and the dryness is from the wine. And in between, now the cask develops. There's some spiciness from the cask coming up. I think after 2 or 3 drams, there will be a lot more of spiciness in your mouth, as well as the smokiness will cover the complete inside of your mouth. And well, you should only have this whiskey in an evening because it will kill every other one. There should be a hint of cinnamon in it, and I thought I found it. I'm not quite sure. It's really complex. Some maltiness is coming. And if you aren't able to find that, it might be a different batch, or it might be that you're in a different mood than I am. And so this one is the last one for today. So I finish my work at 7, sometimes 8. And that is for now. Yeah. I finished that. Thank you for watching. As always, stay tuned. Feel free to share this video with your friends and give your comments in our whiskey database on Whisky.com.